What's happening? It's Flynn Johnson.
I'm Hugo Boss.
I'm Hugo Rock.
I'm Hugo Boss. This is Gobsmack,
This is Gobsmack.
the fashion podcast where we talk about everything from Louis Vuitton, Gucci, Balenciaga, all of that good stuff. Supreme.
Welcome back to the show.
Fans off the wall. Talk about it all.
As well as rapping.
Nike,
Rapping
Adidas, Puma. We're on it. No, I'm joking. I'm ROC.
He's ROC. Welcome back to the show where we talk about growing up and everything in between.
Everything in between. In between the two canals. Great film.
It is. It actually is. Is that which I'm at? Fran Demand's in that.
Fran the fucking bad.
Yeah, I've seen it. It's on Tube U.
How are you, Nidgy?
How are you?
How are you, Nidgy?
No problem, Nizzy.
How are you, Nidgy?
Are you a ladybird?
Alright. Alright.
Are you a ladybird or a
How are you,
dog
Fran?
bird?
It's me.
Yeah. How are you?
Tell your mom's asking for it.
Yeah.
Alright.
No problem, Nidgy. No problem. No problem.
Cooler booler, Nidgy.
Cooler booler.
That was the one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Cooler booler, Nidgy.
It's help I need.
I tell you what, they were the most Southside gangsters I've ever seen in my life. None of my mates fucking act or dress like that. Tell you that. Anyway.
Yeah, thanks for listening always, every week. Leaving your reviews, leaving your little likes, your subscribes, all that stuff. Keep continuing to do it. You know what? We have an array of episodes that people can listen to.
Yeah, go back to the earlier
Yeah,
episodes.
Go back and listen back. Come follow the journey all the way through.
Do you know what you should do?
What should
Check
we
out the Halloween special. Because that's hilarious.
do? Yeah, that's great.
That's hilarious. Our little spooktacular.
Yeah, a little spooktacular. Yeah, make sure you listen to that. Make sure you listen to all the previous episodes and always and forever tell your ma, oh, he was asking for her.
Yeah, lick a cream egg. Say hello to your dad. Good luck.
Let's do it. It's help I need, no hassle. I tell you that much.
It's hell by need, no hassle. Alright.
Fucking bad bastard, bro.
Just updating me Bebo, yeah? Just updating me Bebo page.
I think it was Finch. That's what Finch put up during the week. He was like, he was rewatching Love Hate. He was like, what's the best one-liners from Love Hate? Some of them I forgot all about, bro.
Yeah. King Nitch.
Yeah. I forgot all about for it.
It was a good show back in the day, wasn't it?
Yeah. I rewatched it recently. When I say recently, I rewatched it about a year ago, and I was like, shouldn't have done that. It ruined my memories of it. Like, I was like, this is so shit.
I don't say. Yeah, I imagine it didn't age very well.
No, it's so
Awful.
pale, bro.
Awful.
So pale. But yeah, I've seen some of the one-liners are fucking gas. Some of them are so. One of them, that was one of them. It's help I need, not hassle. Right?
Right.
Where's me fucking charge sheet? Elmo, what a mad one. I'm not leaving till I get me charge sheet. He walks out the door 2 seconds later.
Oh, fuck's sake.
Where's me fucking charge sheet?
Where's me charge sheet?
It's mad. It's mad when you think back to stuff like that. That just.
Nola, where's me charge sheet? I need it. Why, where you going, Anto? To the joy. I need it. That's the kind of fucking writing and acting that was on that show.
Yeah.
So, alright, relax there. Relax there.
I'm just updating me Bebop.
Chap's about 40. I'm going into St. Pat's in the morning.
Yeah.
What?
This just
What
makes
are you
no
talking
sense
about?
at all, like. No, it didn't age well at all. It's mad when you look back on stuff like that, though. Like, I've rewatched so many things, bro, that, like, just ruined my memory of them. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, I shouldn't have done that. Like, you know
Yeah, that happens to me a lot. Because I go back and rewatch things all the time.
Yeah,
all the time. And some of them are, like, they just don't age very well.
No.
Either, you know, the content itself is terrible or the acting's really bad. You notice when you were fucking 15, you know what I mean? Or
Yeah, that's
something like that. Like, fuck's sake.
Yeah, it's mad. Because that's the whole argument that I have with my dad all the time, you know, about the classics, quote-unquote classics, like Scarface and all that shit.
Yeah.
I know it's of its time, but I'm not watching it today, like, do you know what I mean? Like, and, like, I watched it, you need to understand, I watched it, like, 2 or 3 years ago, like, and it's, like, so
Yeah,
shite.
it's awful.
Like, you know, it's so
awful.
shite, like, do you know what I'm saying? It's just,
Do you know what we've been, actually, speaking of which, you know what we've been watching on Disney? My wife and kids.
now that.
I love it.
Yeah.
Right, I love it.
Yeah.
I didn't realise how badly it was made, though.
Oh, really? Yeah, I haven't seen it in years.
Rewatching it, you can see people standing at the side with the cameras on. Yeah, there's bits. It's pure blatantly obvious. Like, there he is. There's some white geezer with a camera in their kitchen. Some of it is really bad. Like, really, really bad. Yeah, some of it's really bad. There's bits, like, where they're in the sitting room chatting or whatever, and the camera kind of pans to the side, and it's just, like, full shot of some geezer standing there with the camera. Just like, all right. It's so bad. And then there's bits where you see, like, the boom mics the top coming into shot, and it's there for about 2 minutes, and then just disappears. Like, did nobody cop that? It was made, like, it must have been made super cheap. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'd say the editing was cheap as fuck.
I love My Wife and Kids, bro. I'm actually gonna go back and watch that.
Oh, My Wife and Kids is great.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. It's great. Junior's a funny.
It's fucking great. I love it.
That's mad though. I never noticed that. Yeah, it's mad when you think back. Like,
that was well ahead of its time. That show. Yeah. Some of the stuff they talk about, we were watching it where they talk about, like, periods and all that stuff. Yeah, none of that stuff was really talked about back then on mainstream TV, especially in America. Yeah, like, some of the stuff they talk about, like teenage pregnancy, is in, like, I think the first or second episode in season 2. Mm-hmm. Yeah, one that's So Raven. Yeah, she's like pregnant in it. None of that was on telly back then. Do you know what I mean?
No, yeah. Especially
it's only when I'm rewatching it now, I'm like fucking like I'm copping it. Where I'm like, Jesus.
Yeah, daytime sitcom as well, bro.
Because Blackish is unreal. I love Blackish.
Blackish is unbelievable. Yeah.
But now that I'm rewatching My Wife and Kids, I'm like, Blackish is just a remake of My Wife and Kids.
No, I clocked that
with the stupid son.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Thick son. Yeah. They use the same formula. Yeah.
It's the exact same. Like, it's the exact same. But even some of the episodes are very like, didn't Blackish do this? You know, this kind of crack. Like, yeah. It's good. Yeah. Look, I love them all. They're all great. No, it's mad. The black sitcoms are bleeding great.
It's mad to go back. Like, you know what I mean? Because, like, I'd love to go back to. Like, I'd love to go back when I was 15, you know what I mean? And I was looking at stuff.
No
Why would you want to do that? No, but I'd love to like perceive it the way I perceived it again for the first time. Like, do you know what I mean? With certain stuff, like probably not My Wife and Kids, like, but you know what I mean?
No, I know what you mean.
You know what I mean? With certain stuff, like, where it's like, how did, like, because everybody always asks themselves that question when they watch stuff again, don't they? They're like, how did I like this?
I know.
Like, how did I enjoy this? Like, we watched Halloween Town, bro. Listen, Halloween Town? Halloween Town's a classic, right?
It's great. It's terrible, but it's great.
So shite,
it's bad,
bro.
But it's great.
It's so shite. I was sitting there going, why? Because I didn't see it for, like...
It's about 4 or 5 of them.
Yeah, I watched the first one. We watched the first one around Halloween this year. Yeah. But I remember saying, I was mad excited to watch it. I was like, Danielle, I can't wait to watch this now. Because I hadn't watched it since I was like...
It's a classic!
Yeah, I haven't watched it since I was like 10. And I was like, I can't wait for this.
Classic poo!
And it's going to bring back so many memories. The smell, everything. You know what I mean?
I'm here for it.
Sitting there watching it. And I was like, turn this shit
with the t-shirt and all on Halloween Town on it. The signed poster on the wall.
The socks and all.
I'm ready.
Yeah. No, bro, I swear to God. I watched it and I was like,
it's awful. I tried to watch it with Dory and I was like, this is awful. It's one of those straight to TV fucking youngsters. Do you know what I mean? Of course it's awful. But back in the day, it was the bollocks.
Yeah. Yeah, it was one of them. It went straight to DVD or something. Yeah, it was one of them yokes, wasn't it? It was the same with Soul Plane. Like, first time
I've never liked Soul Plane. I think it's awful.
I watched the first
time. So bad.
I was like,
this Kevin Hart in that.
Bro, everybody's in it.
Yeah,
everyone's in it.
Yeah,
Big Boy's in it. Big Boy.
Yeah, Big Boy.
Snoop Dogg is the
Hello.
Snoop Dogg's the Captain Mac. You know what I mean? It's bad, bro. But yeah, no, the first time I seen that, I loved it.
Did you really? I never liked it. I thought it was awful.
And then I rewatched it again about...
Where the plane is hopping up and down. Oh, it's awful. It's awful film. It's terrible. Terrible.
It's similar to... Do you know what I always put it up against? You know, did you ever see The Wash? Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg and...
Yeah, The Wash.
Yeah.
The Wash is a little bit better.
It's not, bro.
It's a little bit better than Soul Plane. It's terrible, but it's a bit better than Soul Plane.
Yeah, Soul Plane's geek, but I just remember the first time I seen it, I was like, what is this? This is unreal.
I remember the first time I ever seen a poster for it was in The Source.
Oh yeah.
Back in the day, I was reading The Source and there was a poster for like The Wash with Dr. Dre and Snoop, and it was back in them days when I was obsessed with Snoop. Yeah. Anything Snoop did, I would fucking dare for it, left, right, side, front row, like. Yeah. And couldn't wait to see this thing. But of course, we didn't get a theatrical release because it was a small film. An independent film or whatever. Yeah. So I had to wait, didn't I, till it came out and fucking pirate tape, like, or something, or someone got a fucking tape of it, or a DVD of it or whatever it was. Awful film. Awful. Eminem is terrible in it.
Eminem.
They're all terrible. Snoop's a terrible actor.
Do you know what's bad as well?
Dre isn't too bad.
Dre's alright.
He's alright in Training Day.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Snoop is in that as well.
But
Snoop
he has
is
very
in
little lines in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Snoop isn't great in it either, but he's fine. Snoop's a terrible actor. He's
Oh,
tried so hard, that fella. He's a terrible actor.
I've went to go back because like the stuff that I missed, obviously growing up, like because you obviously would have seen all this stuff, and I wouldn't have. Like I would have went past me because I was a lot younger. Like, do you know what I mean? A lot younger. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But Paid in Full, Paid in Full, and Baby Boy. I've heard people talk about, especially because like I'll be watching interviews and all the boys will be talking about, and there's references to them and songs and all that. I watched Paid in Full, bro. It's not great.
No,
I
I
watched
don't
Baby
like Paid
Boy,
in Full.
and it's worse.
Yeah.
Baby
They're
Boy
terrible
is
films.
so shit.
They're terrible films.
Do you know what I do? Like New Jack City. I like.
Yeah.
Chris Rock plays.
Yeah.
He plays Pookie.
New Jack City is pretty good.
He plays Pookie.
Of course, the first Friday is good. Second Friday is whatever.
The
It's
third
fine.
one's fucking.
Yeah, it's garbage.
Christmas
First
suck.
one is though unbelievable.
The first Friday. Yeah. But same thing. Danielle, she missed all that. She wasn't obviously she wasn't into them growing up. And then I made her watch Friday like 2 years ago, and she was like, "This is so shite." Like, she was like, "I can't stand this film." Like,
It's of its time as well. Isn't
That's
it?
what I mean.
It's one of those kind of what would you call it? It's like a cult following.
Cult following. Yeah.
Cult
Definitely.
following kind of film, isn't it? Like it's one of those like
Yeah. So, like, because I think
like your Superbads and all them kind of has a
Yeah.
big cult following.
Yeah,
Now,
oh,
Superbad's a great film, but like
Yeah,
it's one of those where it just kind of has this cult following, doesn't
Yeah.
it? Kind of took life when it hit VHS, like when it came out on like fucking on video, or if it came out on DVD, kind of had this big life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Wasn't great in the
do-
cinema.
didn't- yeah,
Didn't do
didn't do
anything
well,
really in the
yeah.
cinema. A lot like fucking out of Kevin Smith films
be
like
like
Jane
that,
Silent
yeah,
Bob and all
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Didn't do very well in the cinema, but
Yeah.
Stoners and all them just
Yeah.
gangs of lads loved them. Bit like
Yeah.
Scary Movie and all that sort of stuff.
No,
you know.
No, I'd love to go back, bro. I'd love to go back to that time. Like, I would have loved to be like obsessed with hip hop the way I am, like back when like Tupac and Biggie were like the biggest in the world. Like, do you know what I mean? I would love to experience that. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's just a certain, I don't know what it is, a certain aesthetic or something, bro. And I know like everybody's dressing like the 90s now anyway, like,
Yeah,
and
it's super
all,
popular now. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's all just a big cycle anyway, like, do you know what I mean? That just keeps repeating itself constantly, like, do you know what I mean? It's, bro, I walked past two girls in Juicy Couture tracksuits the other day. I was like, what the fuck is
I
going
know
on?
what's going on with the Juicy tracksuits.
I was like, what?
They were awful back in the day, and they're fucking worse now. They look awful.
I don't know.
They all look fake. They just
Yeah,
remind me of something you'd buy down Moore Street.
Yeah, or the Fairy House or something.
Yeah, go Fairy House, get a Juicy tracksuit. Awful
Mad
yokes.
looking yokes, bro.
Awful yokes.
But that whole aesthetic, like that whole like Legally Blonde, I always say like for the girls anyway now, it's sort of that like Legally Blonde type of fucking aesthetic. type of
Clueless.
thing.
Clueless.
Sorry, Clueless. Yeah, sorry.
Clueless.
Yeah, Clueless. That sort of thing where it's like, I don't know, all that's just coming back now. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I would love them to be around there.
The early 2000s is kind of the vibe now.
Yeah,
It's very similar to the 90s.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
kind of grungy look like, but the early 90s is kind of the vibe now,
The vibe now, yeah,
which is weird.
Yeah, everything's
me,
oversized.
It's weird for me
Yeah.
because that's when I grew up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
what I remember the most
It's the
is
same, yeah, same.
the
yeah,
early
yeah, bro.
90s. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And it's weird seeing that now. That's when you start to feel, I was like, fuck.
yeah, that's coming
That
back
was
already.
that was how I dressed when I was a kid, like or whatever, when I was young,
Yeah.
and now it's coming back.
yeah, yeah.
It's very 90s style as well, because it's very similar to the early 90s and the late 90s and that, of course, like because it was just
Yeah, yeah.
whatever. It's so close in years, like.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
yeah, that's kind of what they're dressing like now.
Yeah.
Even some of the music is starting to sound like the early 90s stuff.
Yeah, bro. There's this
weird.
this UK artist called Strands, and I don't know if you've heard of him, but he's like making like, bro, it's like listening to fucking like a G Unit mixtape back in the day. He's making he's making this like 50 now it's very 50 Cent, and he's leaning like
Yeah,
heavily
heavy.
into it, like, you know what I mean? But it's like it's good. Like, it's good. That's what I mean. All that shit's coming back. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? That sort of style.
Well, that'd be like heavy nostalgia for like a 20-year-old,
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah,
a 19, 20-year-old.
Yeah, yeah.
That's like their 80s.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And the early 90s would be their like early 80s. You know what I
Early
mean? Like
80s,
their like their Stranger Things type thing, like
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
That kind of nostalgia for them.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. No, of course, bro, of course, yeah. If you could go back though, like if you could go back to any time, what would you go back anyway?
No.
You wouldn't.
No,
You wouldn't.
no.
I'm interested. Why? Why
I'd
wouldn't?
never go. If I had a chance to go back to when I was young, I would not. It's one of the worst times in my life. You're mad. I wouldn't go back then.
Yeah, no.
Just how I was living. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
You
Was there any
mad?
point, not even younger, is there any point you'd go back to at all
No.
in your life?
No.
No?
No.
No regrets? No?
I've plenty of regrets,
Mm.
but that only revolves around like school and stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
getting the boot out and getting
Yeah.
myself kicked out and leaving and all that sort of stuff. I wish I stayed, like, you know what I mean? But that's the only thing I would go back and change. Like,
Yeah.
the rest of the stuff was out of my control.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
The family situation, the way, you know, being homeless and all that stuff. All that was out of my, completely out of my control. Do you know what I mean? There's nothing I can do. It doesn't matter if I go back
Yeah.
now, like,
It'd still be the same.
it's still going to be the exact same thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The only thing I would change growing up is getting kicked out of school. Just getting myself
Getting
kicked
kicked
out.
of school.
If I could go back, I'd go back and just tell my younger self, look, man, it's going to be all right. Just
Yeah.
hang in there, bro.
Yeah. You know,
Hang
like
in
that,
there.
yeah.
Hang in there. Things are going to
Yeah.
completely change for you. Like,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Things are going to
No.
change your life.
I had a feeling
You're
that
going to end up working for, like, two of the biggest companies in the fucking country, like, in a really good position. So hang on, bro.
Yeah.
Hang
chill
on.
out. Yeah. It's
Hang
worth
on.
it in the end. Yeah.
Hang on.
No, I had a feeling you wouldn't want to go back to
No.
your younger self, like, you know what I mean, or go back to those years. Do you know what I mean? Because
The only thing I'd love now from back then is the friend group.
yeah, of course.
How close we all were, and how fun it was. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But that was back like before Bebo was even a thing. Do you know what I mean? Before any of them, like before MySpace, before the Bebos and all that stuff.
yeah.
There was no social media. There was no such thing as a selfie. You wouldn't dare take a selfie. Do you know what I mean? You wouldn't even take a selfie on a fucking disposable camera.
Yeah.
Because the pharmacist has to fucking see it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Absolutely not. Having the pharmacist looking at a selfie of me.
Yeah.
You mad? You think I'm vain? Where now it's like, come on, we get a picture together. You know.
Yeah.
But no, the only thing I would kind of have now, I wouldn't go back to, because look, it's done. What's the point in going back? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What I'd love now though is that kind of that close friend group, because we don't have that anymore. You know what I mean? As close as I am to whoever, like Rick or whatever, Put or any of them.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to have that again. Do you know what I mean? Having Gork around, Mark,
Yeah.
because the Mark fella's in Australia. You know what I mean? Gork obviously he passed away or whatever like that. We had Jay around then. All of us kind of together again. Do you know what I mean? Just the times we had at the pole, like just 12 of us, 20 of us just sat at the pole having the fucking crack. This even before any of the boys smoked weed or
Yeah.
before any of us even really drank or anything like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Majority of the boys, they didn't even smoke.
Yeah.
We just hung around just cracking jokes and slagging each other, like, and it was great because we were all fucking poor as fuck. We were all dirt poor. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We had nothing. There was no, like, the only person that had like the decent clothes would like be Ricky or Oisin,
Yeah.
because they were the ones, like, Rick's man dad worked, and the majority of his family was from town, so he had that towny influence.
Yeah,
where
yeah,
Blanche got it kind of last. You know what I mean? It like it fucking, like, the fashion would trickle in eventually. Be like 2 months too late.
Yeah.
We'd be wearing stuff like a Le Coq Sportif yoke.
Yeah.
And you go into town and the boys be wearing fucking Fila or something. It's gone.
So
you know what I mean?
usually wearing that shit, and then Rick would have something different.
Rick
on
would
again.
have the new
Yeah,
trend.
yeah,
Rick was always ahead of the curve. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
2 months later, we'd all start wearing it. You know what I'm saying? Because you'd start getting the fakes.
Yeah.
So then we'd all start wearing it. Like,
Yeah.
a couple of boys, like, there was about 3 or 4 of them that would have kind of new gear, but the trendier one was Ricky. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The rest of us were just in fucking hand-me-downs and second-hand clothes and fakes and all that stuff. So there was no competition of how we looked. We all didn't dress the same either then. It's not like now, the way they all wear the exact... They're all clowns. Like, back in the day, you couldn't be a clown because our families couldn't afford the good gear.
Yeah,
do you know
of
what I mean?
course,
So
yeah,
we all
yeah.
just had hand-me-downs and
War
fucking
with
fakes, like, and stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
So there was no competition really. It was just like who could slag the other one the best, or who could get
that's
the
all it
better of
was.
someone. You know what I mean? Or you'd have a little scrap, like, or whatever like that, just like a little knockabout. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's all. It was so simple. Like, I know I sound like a pure old man, but it
No,
was
bro.
so fucking simple. There was none of this malarkey that goes on now, checking the phone every 2 seconds. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There was none of that. It was just a simpler time. I'd love to have that now. I'd love to have that now.
Yeah.
I really would.
I can resonate with it because, like, the
I wouldn't go back to it.
but
I'd never
you'd
go
love-
back to
yeah.
it, just because the way I was reared, the way I was brought up, it's like I wouldn't go back to that for anything. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
For love or money, like, I wouldn't go back to that for anything. But I'd love to bring that little friend group
back, yeah,
to now.
to now.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
It wouldn't be the same now though, because obviously with
I know
social
people
media and
grew
everything.
up and all that stuff, but I can definitely relate to it, bro, because like the timeline that I've kind of wrote the album about, like that timeline that I wrote the album for, like within those years, I'd love to that I'm talking about on the album. I'd love to go back to them. That's why probably why I wrote the fucking thing. Like, you know what I mean? I'd love to go back to those years. So the same as you,
2010s,
around like 2008 till about 2011, like 2012. You know what I mean? Around that time where I was kind of like leaving primary school and going into my secondary school, like, you know what I mean, and then right up to about 5th year sort of thing, like, you know what I mean. Those years for me were like nobody could tell us anything. Same thing what you were talking about with my friend group, and again there was so many of us now. Obviously we've lost some, and some don't talk to the others and all that stuff. You know what I mean? I'd love to just go back, like you were saying, to kind of have that feeling back, and I think that's kind of what I've been chasing, sort of like an addict nearly, like, you know what I mean. I think that's when I was writing the album, that's sort of what I was chasing. Like, do you know what I mean?
You know, nostalgia sells. I've said it so many times in here. They say that sex sells. Nostalgia trumps sex. Like if you want to sell something, slap a bit of nostalgia on it.
Somebody of something.
If you can remind somebody of a feeling, of a smell, of a certain vibe that they were in, or something like that, boom, gone. Do you know what I mean? Nostalgia sells to everybody. Yeah, teenagers, adults, some kids, depending on their age. Sex doesn't sell to everybody. It has an age limit. Yeah, where nostalgia sells. Nostalgia is fucking. Look at Stranger Things. Like, nostalgia just sells out the door. If you can just remind somebody of something, you're in.
No, but I'm again, bro. I'm the same as you. And
that's what it is with us. We're always chasing that feeling. You know, because when you grow up, like, the worst thing you can do is grow up. Oh, brother. Worst thing you do in life is grow up.
I remember you said that to me all them years ago, and I was like, what the fuck is this fella talking about? And
so all it is funerals and bills.
And then I grew up, and I was like, yeah, I know what you're saying. You know what I mean? I get it. Like.
Don't get me wrong. There's good stuff with it as well, but when you lose that kind of childhood, it's... Yeah. You don't realise what you're losing, you know? Yeah.
No, you don't. You don't. I remember always... Now,
and it's hard to adjust. I find it's hard to adjust to being an adult, like, because I still think I'm a fucking teenager. Me and Danielle, like, two of us would be looking at each other like, how the fuck? We have a house and 2 kids and fucking full-time jobs, a dog and a tortoise. What the hell is going on? We have a house. Yeah. You know, we have bills. We're adults, like. Yeah. With the two of us, it's just like, I still feel like fucking 15 years old. What's going on? Yeah, no, you know what I mean? I know. Who the fuck are them 2 strangers upstairs?
Yeah.
Who the fuck owns them kids?
I know. It's that sort of thing where but it's like that. Me and Danielle are sort of the same that way. Like, you know what I mean? And it sounds like I'm just being a fucking parrot of you, bro. But like, it's the truth. Like, it's what I was going to talk about anyway. Is that like we always do the same? Because I'm the same, bro. I find it real hard to. I'm a creature of nature, or creature, is that a creature of habit?
Creature of habit.
Yeah, creature. Not a creature.
I'm a creature of nature.
I'm a fucking ladybird. Right? No, but I'm a creature of habit, bro. So I mean, when anything changes in my life, Danielle will tell you, I freak out a little bit. Like, you know what I mean? I'm sort of like, oh, I don't know if I can adjust to this like new thing. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. And like, even moving out, simple thing for anyone. Like, do you know what I mean? But for me, it was like,
it's not really simple for anybody, I don't think.
Yeah, but I mean, you're
a certain way.
I overthink it a lot. Like, most people are like, deadly, I'm moving out. You know what I mean? And then, like, to me, it was sort of like, oh shit, like, my whole life's gonna change. Like, you know what I mean? That's the way I think. Like, do you know what I mean? And I get that. It's hard to adjust sometimes. That like, that's sort of the past now. Like, you know what I mean? And I'm the same as you as well, bro. Where I don't have any regrets. Like, I don't think to myself, oh, there's a specific time that I wish I could go back to because I regret doing this or I regret doing that. I am who I am because of it. Like, you know what I mean? That's the way I look at it. But if there's one thing,
if you're here and you're healthy, and you've no like sort of debt or troubles, well then, what do you have to regret?
Yeah, exactly.
Just crack on, like,
exactly.
If it's out of your control, if stuff in the past is out of your control, whether, you know, if you had a time machine now and you went back, you still can't fix it. It's out of your control. So why would you regret something like that? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Just crack on, like,
it's gonna happen.
Move forward.
Yeah, no, 100%.
And if you're worried about something like that, if you see something happening like that again in the future in your kids' lives or your own life, you just correct it. You correct the course. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You break that cycle. Like. Yeah, of course. If there was one time, I wish I could go back there. Right?
Go on.
This is a bit of a long one, so.
Oh Jesus! Here we go.
So when I was in like
I'll
second
step out for a half hour and come back.
when I was in like second year, bro. Now when the story I'm about to tell you, bro. Sometimes when I'm lying in bed, yeah, and I think about this story, I can't sleep for the whole entire night, right? And I'll tell you why, right?
Go on.
So when I was in like second year or something, I was with my first girlfriend the whole lot. We were in the same school as each other the whole lot, right? But it was around the time the variety show was on, yeah? Where like the variety show is basically like a talent show where they put anyone in the school wants to be a part of it, you can go up. So I was rapping in it every year, like, you know what I mean? Of course it was. And it was second year this time around, and me and her, it was something it was around the variety show, and me and her were fighting around the variety show, right? We were scrapping, right? And she wasn't talking to me or that. And I was like, I know what I'll win her back. Brother, I can't even believe I'm about to say this on this podcast. Yeah? I was like, I know what I'll win her back. I'm going to write. listen, yeah. And I can't believe what I'm going to say to you. I'm going to write I heart the initials on me body, right? So on me torso, yeah?
Got 21 questions.
Right? On me torso,
They
bro.
all about us.
I'm going to write I heart so-and-so on me torso. And at the end of the song, the end of the performance, I'm going to lift the top up and she's going to know what's up, right? And she's going to come running into my arms and everything's going to be dandy, yeah? Brother, when I tell you, yeah, I done this. Nobody batted an eyelid, right? They were like, why did I fucking need to pull his top up at the end of that, right?
Champ thinks he's Peter Andre.
But she seen it, yeah. She seen it. She came up to me and like, she was like, what was that all about? I was like, oh, just love you, like. She was like, yeah, don't do that again, right? When I tell you, I don't regret anything. I do not regret anything, right?
I would regret that.
I've done so many,
many
things in my life that probably are regrettable. But this, right? I don't regret anything. But I'm telling you, sometimes like Danielle she's gonna hear this for the first time, bro. Right? Danielle doesn't even know this. Danielle's gonna hear this for the first time on the podcast. And she's
so embarrassed for you.
No, but so many things are gonna make sense to her because like there's some nights, bro. Right? There's some nights, bro, where if I'm lying in bed and that thought just comes into my head. Like, you know the way you hear people talking about, like, oh, that makes me skin crawl. Like, I never understood that, brother. It makes me want to turn me insides. It makes me want to grab me face and just rip it off my body. Like,
people still on Bebo now talking about it. Just come on, lifted his top at that talent show that time.
What did that say?
What was that all about?
I love Jesus Christ. What did that say? No, I swear to God, bro. And sometimes when I'm lying in bed, that's the one time
he murders kids. That fella, remember him with the top up?
I hear he's locked up now for lifting his top up.
I bet there's rumours flying around.
No, but I swear to God, it's so many things going to click in Danielle's head because there's been so many nights where I've just been up. I just been like, what's wrong with you? And like, oh, bro, I can't tell her, like, you know what I mean? Because I'm like, oh,
so embarrassed.
Sometimes when I'm lying there, bro, the embarrassment literally doesn't let me go to sleep. It doesn't let me my mind stop thinking about it. Like, you know what I mean? I swear to God, it makes me skin itchy when I think about it. But that's the one thing I'll go back and probably change.
That's gas.
I'll go back to that time and probably say, listen, I probably shouldn't write some shit on me, like, you know. Yeah. Like, relax, bro.
If anything, you should have wrote it on you.
Yeah.
Because I was in the right.
Yeah, because
you were in the wrong. Yeah. I had a big performance that day.
Yeah.
And you ruined it.
You ruined it. Because I was worried about whether the mark I was going to smudge or not, wasn't I? You know what I mean? Oh, brother, I'm so sorry. I don't even know why I told that story.
I could have took off like a rocket after that show, but no. Too busy thinking about you.
Because it lifted me fucking top. I could have had a deal. Yeah, I could have had a deal on the table after that. Yeah, school was going to invite some executives. You know what I mean?
Bed sheet up on the bleeding stage.
Lifted the top up, everybody's just blinded. Ah!
It disappeared. He was like, "Where's he gone?"
Oh, there he is.
I didn't know he was doing a magic trick. He's a magician. Invisa F. There he is. Can't see him.
Did that spotlight burn him? He looks burned.
Lift up your top. He's gone. Poof.
For that, I don't even know why I told that story. I'm actually so sorry. I don't know.
Nah, that's gas.
I don't know why.
That's gas.
If there's one time I go back to, it's probably that. Yeah, probably because it still haunts me today. Like,
that's awful.
And I was rapping in an American accent. So
oh Jesus!
All of it is there. All of it is there. You know.
We've all been there.
But yeah, I don't regret anything.
Not the short lifting, but the American accent. We've all been there.
That's you on your own, bro. That's you on your own.
That's all on you. Fucking hell.
Oh, sorry for that. Yeah, but that's the only time I'd probably probably come back and do something about it.
Just slap yourself in the face. Don't fucking do it.
Come on, take that fucking do-rag off your head.
Nobody's here for that, bro. Take that fucking do-rag off.
Take them cornrows out of your head, man. What you do?
What are you fucking Yeah, I don't get the whole going back and changing things. I was literally only talking to Danielle about it, right? We were around the Hormaz for dinner.
Yeah.
Because we record this on a Wednesday and we go to Hormaz for dinner on a Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
And we were getting out of the car and we were talking about something. What were we talking about? Oh, The Little Mermaid. We were talking about the new one that's coming out.
Yeah.
And I was saying, I wonder if it'd be any good. I'm not big on the live action yokes, you know what I mean? They keep going back and remaking all the old films and they change the story or they change bits because of back in the day it was maybe a little bit inappropriate for now or whatever like that, right?
Yeah.
And I was saying, none of the live action remakes have been good, bar probably Cinderella. That's probably been the only one that's actually decent out of them all, right? As much as I love Tim Burton, even Alice in Wonderland, even they're fucking garbage, like they're awful films.
Yeah.
And then I was talking about they're even going back and changing the books now. You know, they're changing the old movies.
Like editing them, like.
Yeah,
Oh,
like
really?
Disney Plus. They've gone back and re-edited some of the old movies. They've taken certain parts out, even like The Simpsons. So if you watch The Simpsons on Disney Plus, now I haven't watched them in fucking years, but I was trying to go back and find the House of Horror ones at Halloween for Dory to watch, right? Because she was asking me about them. She's seen something on YouTube about them. Says, we'll watch them.
Yeah.
Bro, there's only about fucking 10 minutes of them.
Yeah, because
They've taken out so much. They've edited out so much.
Because Caelan loves The Simpsons. He sits there and watches The Simpsons all the time. That's his.
So much of the House of Horror. So I looked it up.
Yeah.
Because there was one episode. I was trying to find the Michael Jackson episode. You know the one. Lisa, it's your birthday. It's happy.
birthday.
Can't get that.
What?
It's gone. Yeah, they scrapped it. Right? Because it's a fella that thinks he's black, like, and he's white or whatever like that.
Wow.
Very strange.
Wow.
So I looked it up. I was like, what the fuck's going on? Where's all these fucking these episodes? Must be a copyright thing or something. No, I looked it up. Disney were like, nah, those episodes, we're taking them out because of some of the language that's used in it, or the way they were written, or the way they're portrayed, or whatever. I'm just like, what?
No
They're
way.
of their time.
Literally of their time, yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? But we were talking about the way the Roald Dahl books, they're going back and re-editing them now to change some of the language in it, because some of the stuff he uses in it might be a bit homophobic or whatever it is. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, look, man.
Yeah.
When does it kind of,
Yeah, the whole
you know
thing.
what I mean?
Yeah,
Like where is the bar here? Like, where do you stop? You know what I'm saying?
And I
That's
wonder,
a different conversation for a different day. But
Yeah.
it was just when we were talking about going back and changing things, it just seems like everybody is going back. All these companies are terrified now of this, like, cancel fucking culture
isn't
and stuff.
that-
They're terrified of it. They're all going back and
Yeah,
changing
yeah.
everything now. And it's like,
You're changing history.
they
like.
were made.
Yeah.
You can't change that.
Yeah.
They were made. They're there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Leave them as is.
Yeah.
Learn from it and move on.
Yeah.
Just don't do it again. Like,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? Instead of remaking them completely different and keeping some elements, and then still going back and changing the originals. It's like,
Bro, you're changing history. Like,
yeah,
that's-
like, what's the point? What's the point?
like,
Like, you're
who's-
just taking it out of the fucking, you're changing the history books there, brother.
It's why I leave. Like, if you go onto YouTube,
If you don't agree with it, don't watch it.
don't watch it.
Don't
like,
show your
you know
kids
what I
it.
mean?
Do you know what I mean?
I don't understand
They're
that.
there, like, just leave them alone. It was just that just popped in my head when you were saying about going back, like, you wouldn't go back and change things.
Yeah.
And then I was saying about, like, because me and Danny were literally just talking about it before I came around here. Like, this is mad. Talking about the Roald Dahl books and
Being
the Dr.
changed.
Zeus books and everything, going back and changing.
See, if you go onto YouTube, all of my American action stuff now, you can find that. Like,
Yeah.
so I mean, it's there. Like,
Yeah.
I know, bro. It is what it is. You can see the evolution there.
It's there.
like,
You were
do know
a,
what I
you
mean?
were a fucking kid.
Exactly. You can see the evolution from day dot there. Like,
Yeah.
so I mean, all the way up to where I am now. So I mean, not to spin it on me, but I mean, like, if I'd never even think about going on and just deleting them, bro. They're there years. Why
People do it. People go back and they go through all their old tweets now, delete all their old tweets, just in case they get a bit of
Where's the
fame
bar?
or notoriety.
Yeah.
They're terrified that fucking paranoid. They go back and delete all their old
Yeah.
tweets and stuff, just
Yeah.
in case they get a little bit famous, and maybe they said something. But like this shite that's going on, we are one now. What's her name? Kelly Harrington, the
Right,
boxer.
right.
That whole thing about her tweets, about the anti-immigration stuff, like. And now
right,
it's
right.
all kind of blowing up on her. She's not having a good week, like. But it's just,
Yeah.
Stop looking at the past stuff.
It's like, when was that tweeted? Like, that's the way. Like, people always say to me, like, oh, you love Harry Potter, and I'm like, yeah. You know, like these woke folk that I'd meet, like,
oh, the J.K. Rowling thing. It's like, all right, relax.
It's like, yeah, I wouldn't watch that.
I love Michael Jackson's music.
Yeah, it's like, I wouldn't watch that, and I was like, why? And they were like, oh, because she's transphobic or whatever, and I'm like,
and deaf ears are supposed to be like trans people and all this sort of stuff, or like a metaphor.
I'm not, like, what are you talking about? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like,
I don't see it in our work.
why even if that is her opinion, why are you judging me off of, like, you know what I mean? It's
judging me for?
Yeah, do you know what I'm saying? It's not as if she made like 8 transphobic films. She didn't, like, do you know what I mean? Or 8 transphobic books even.
I remember I was I'm always like posting stuff, like sharing some music stuff. And I remember one time I had like, what's your favorite MJ album? Is it Thriller? Is it Off the Wall or whatever? And I had these tracks up. Yeah. And one lad sent me a message like, bro, that's a bit sketchy sharing that stuff. Considering like, I'm like, considering what?
Considering what?
Considering like him, like, I'm like,
considering he was accused. What?
Yeah, like, what are you talking about?
What are you on about? Like,
I'm talking about the music, you might go. I don't give a fuck what he did in his personal life. I don't give a shite.
It's not even that. Like
if you go off all of that stuff, yeah,
yeah,
we shouldn't like Paddington Bear. We shouldn't like fucking Harry Potter. We shouldn't like fucking superhero films. Yeah. We shouldn't like Dr. Seuss. Yeah, we shouldn't like Roald Dahl. You know what I mean? We shouldn't like any Disney film that was made pre like 2000s. Yeah. If you go off any of that, like if you go off any of that shit, we shouldn't be wearing night clothes. We shouldn't be using iPhones and Samsungs. We shouldn't be driving fucking Teslas. We shouldn't be driving fucking motor cars regardless. We shouldn't be doing anything. You know what I mean? If you want to go off that, like if you want to,
and if you want to make the argument,
if you want to shite on, like
if you want to make the argument that, right, let's say you do get rid of all them things, and then you want to go live in the woods, sure, cutting down some boards, gaff. Like,
I know, like where does it stop? Like where does it stop?
It doesn't stop for that, you know what I mean? But going back,
that whole conversation about woke a dirty word and all this sort of stuff, it's just like whatever.
God, man, oh
whatever.
My God,
we'll definitely do an episode and all that shit, and we'll get ourselves cancelled and into trouble. But it's just like, I blame the Americans.
I'm called woke, though.
So am I. I'm called woke all the time. And
yeah.
I'm not, like, I'm far from it.
Yeah.
But I blame the Americans. I blame the Americans.
I blame the Kardashians. I blame that.
I blame the fucking Americans. It's all the Americans.
Yeah. So look at it, like,
non-binary stuff, the gender fluid, it's all America.
Yeah.
It's all America. It all comes from America.
Yeah.
American kids.
It's mad because, like, it's like I seen Kevin Hart. So like, obviously we're big fans of Dave Chappelle for that reason. Doesn't give a fuck. Doesn't care. Like his opinions, whatever. Yeah. And I know this is a separate conversation, but I remember seeing Kevin Hart had that comedy special coming out during COVID that was called Zero Fucks Given. I was like,
Jesus,
I was like, oh shit. And then it's just a whole comedy special, bro. That's called Zero Fucks Given, and he just continues to give a fuck. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, bro, relax. Do you know what I mean?
Like just peppering over certain things, like,
and then he's like, and I didn't mean it that way, I mean it this way, and you're like, bro, you clearly give a fuck, like, you know what I mean?
Relax there, buddy.
But no, back to what you were saying, that's mad. They're going back and editing shit, like, that's changing history. That's mad, bro. So I don't to go back and change history books, and I was like, none of these fucking mass genocides happened, and do you know what I mean? Like, if you want to start getting into nitty gritty,
same as the Brits, the North Koreans.
Do you know what I mean? Like, that's mad. That's mad to me. Like,
it's weird, isn't it? It's very weird. It's very strange. Like, I mean, I would understand if they kept, like, say, like the Roald Dahl books, because that's what I was talking about. Earlier on. That's why it came into my head, because we were talking about would you go back and change things or whatever. The Roald Dahl books. I mean, if you know you want to go back and rewrite them, and why don't you just republish 2023 version of it? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Instead of going back and. No, let's go back and change them all, and we'll scrap the originals. It's just very strange.
It is.
It's very strange.
It is. Like exactly what we're talking about. Like, to regret. Like, I don't think they have regrets though. Like all the Roald Dahl stuff and all. I don't think it's a regret that they have. I just think that
Roald Dahl was an absolute racist.
Was he? Yeah.
Yeah.
Was he?
Yes, he was. Yeah,
it's a different time though, wasn't it? Like,
he was a fucking racist fucker. Yeah. He was I know it sounds like a pure excuse, but he was of that time.
No, that
Do you know what I'm saying?
mental,
He was
but
of that fucking
yeah,
time.
Yeah, like
that generation.
My granddad's racist, bro.
Oh, just blatant
yeah,
with it. Like,
yeah,
they don't give a fuck.
Yeah, my granddad's like that. Yeah.
And, like, there's nothing you can do to change that. Do you know what I mean?
That's what I mean.
What is the point in going in and arguing with them?
Yeah.
They're not gonna. You're not going to change their mind on that.
No.
Like,
no,
that's it. Foots down. You know what I'm saying?
No.
That's them. Like, you can't change their character whatsoever. You just continue on with your life and just don't be a dickhead. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Just don't be a dickhead.
Because I'll tell you one thing, my granddad certainly doesn't regret growing up the way he grew up. You know
No,
what I'm saying?
none of them do.
He just stands for him.
But that Roald Dahl fella and all these, and Dr. Zeus, like, if you read some of their writing and quotes and things from them away from the books, blatant, like.
Yeah,
and they probably don't even realise they were being racist.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Just when you read that shit now, you're like, whoa.
Whoa,
buddy. You want to chill out. How the fuck did you build an empire on that shit? You know what I mean? These Nazi fucking views and all this stuff.
Yeah.
But look.
No, I know. It's a separate conversation.
If you look into any fucking company, organization, any of these big wigs, any of these big stars, like actors, singers, comedians, whoever the fuck it is, like, there's shit there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Stuff that they were just ignorant to.
Yeah.
Growing up. Do you know what I mean? And you learn and you just fucking grow and you move on. Like,
of course,
stop
bro.
going back and changing things and cancelling people because of old shit.
I know.
Sorry, that just popped into my head when you said going
abs-
back and changing things. I was like, me and Danny were just talking about fucking them going back and changing books.
Yeah.
Not
No,
having
I
it.
get it.
I'm not having it. But yeah, we'll definitely do a conversation on that because I think it's interesting. There's loads there, especially the current climate. Like, you know what I mean?
Of course, bro. Of course. It's just the back to what we originally.
It's probably a bit of
talked
a
about.
clickbait fucking title, but look.
Yeah. No, I know what you're saying. But yeah, like to go back to what we were talking about. I mean, time traveling would be cool either way. Like, so I mean,
yeah.
If I was presented
nice.
with it, do you know what I mean? I'm sure I would be intrigued, and I wouldn't be sitting there going, "No, don't regret that. I'm not going back anywhere." I probably would. Like,
I'd probably go back to the day the Queen died a couple of times. Just laugh. Just laugh. Have a good old time. Had a great day that day. It was a good day, that. What? I'm being serious. I'll probably go back a couple of times and just be like, yeah. This is great. This is great.
That's outrageous, bro. I'd probably go back and just be like, yeah.
Yeah. This is great. I'm having a great time.
The fist in the air, yeah.
Yeah.
That's outrageous, bro.
Remember the whole build up to it, and I was just like, yeah, it's going to happen one of these days.
I'd love to go
great.
back and
It's great
see. I'd love to go. This is such a blatant, typical hip hop artist.
Shout out all the Brits. Look, I've nothing against you.
Yeah.
Just like the royal family and what they stand for.
I'd love to go back to the House of Blues when Tupac was performed that night.
Oh, baby.
I'd love to see that. Do you know what I mean? I'd love, because I've seen so many videos.
House of Blues in LA.
Yeah. I'd love to go to the House of
On
Blues
Sunset Strip.
and see Tupac when he was on that. Fuck Biggie, fuck Mobb Deep when he was on that wartime. You know what I mean? That's what I'd love. He had Snoop Dogg, he had all the Outlaws and their cousins on the stage with him. You know what I mean? Like, I'd love to, because it just looked like obviously it's historical, but it just looked like the energy, like, just looked mad. You know what I mean? I'd love to see it. Love to snatch that Death Row chain up and get gone back in the car.
Oh my!
Zoom, back to 2023. Hello! You know what I mean?
Fuck you, me.
But yeah, no, there's not a lot, bro. Not a lot that I do. But maybe time travel will be decent enough.
Would be pretty cool in
If
fairness.
someone came to me and you now and says, "Here, listen, here's a bag of beans. You can use these to go and back to whatever time you want." I'm sure.
Eat one of those, dude, and go back in time.
I'm sure you'd have me back at the fucking, I don't know, where you'd bleed and have me. It's in a mountain somewhere. You'd bring me back to some mountain somewhere.
I'd be back the day the Queen died. Telling you now. Sat there with an Irish flag wrapped
This
around
fella
me.
gets presented with the chance to time travel, and he's like, "Yeah, just bring me back a few months ago."
No, I'm just trying to go back to the day Queen died and just glow.
Is there anyone you'd like to have a conversation with, dead or alive? Anybody?
That I've known, or just anybody in general?
Anyone dead or alive in history?
Oh,
ever?
Johnny Cash.
Johnny Cash, yeah. Love to have a conversation.
Without a doubt.
Would he?
Yeah, him, yeah.
Yeah.
Or Otis Redding.
I thought you would have said Brendan Gleeson or something.
Well, Brendan Gleeson is alive.
No, dead or alive, though.
All right.
Ever.
Sorry, I thought you meant dead. Sorry.
Of all time.
Of all time.
All time.
Oh my.
Oh my goodness.
Who would I love to have a chinwag with? Probably Wes Anderson, Brendan Gleeson,
That's a good one.
Denzel Washington.
Oh. I did not expect you to say that at all.
I love Denzel. Oh,
Yeah.
Brendan Gleeson is our Denzel.
Yeah,
I always say it.
True.
I always say it.
True.
Yeah, maybe one of them. Keith Haring.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Basquiat, maybe? No.
Nah.
No? All right.
Maybe Andy Warhol, just because he was such an oddball.
Yeah.
I'd just love to see how awkward it is to have a conversation with him.
Yeah.
Because I believe he was like awkward as fuck. Because he was just off the wall. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Off the wall. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know,
Caravaggio.
Caravaggio was a good one, yeah. That's a good one.
Crazy.
Yeah. Outrageous.
Crazy.
I don't know. I know you didn't ask, but I don't know who I'd pick. Maybe someone like, I don't know. Like, if I knew I was going to get the full answers out of OJ, I'd probably have a conversation with him. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'd just be like, listen, you did it, come on. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
You did it, bro. Just tell us.
Tell us. Yeah,
Tell
no,
me.
Yeah, no,
and
I
I
did.
won't tell us all.
Yeah, no,
but
I
I'll
did.
write a book in a fucking 50 years' time.
Yeah, no, I did. SWAT team just comes into the room. You know what I mean? No, maybe not OJ. Jesus, I take that back. That's the thing I regret. Now, if I regret here now,
I regret it.
I don't know. Maybe someone like that, like someone that was, like you said, lived in their own bubble, real eccentric, and like Prince or something. You know what I mean? Someone like that. Like maybe,
Yeah, I find people like that like really interesting. That kind of
Yeah.
just have their own thing going.
I'd have to have a conversation with Kanye. Like, I'd have to.
Oh yeah.
Just to delve into that. I don't even know what we talk about, bro. But just
What era of Kanye though? Now?
no, Jesus, not now. No.
I'd say now would be some crack.
No, now. Not now, now. Like, the last couple of years,
I'd
era
say
Kanye.
trying to get a conversation out of that geezer would be some crack.
That's
now.
what I'm saying. Like, just sitting there just asking him one question and watch him talk for 4 hours. Like,
I'd
do you know
love
what I
to
mean?
meet Hungry Kanye. Like if you watch that documentary where he's going into
Yeah.
to Rockefeller and he's just
Yeah.
in like
Yeah.
the accountant's office playing her his new stuff,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
and he's
Like,
screaming
why
in
are
our
you in
face
here?
and all. Like, he's like, "What are you doing here, buddy?" I'd love to meet that Kanye.
Maybe Dark Twisted Fantasy as well. I'd love to, like, that Kanye, I'd love to sit down and talk with. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, just even be in those rooms as well. If I had the chance to be in those rooms as well,
Yeah.
like, just watching all that unfold would be nuts. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I've no really like big like someone I'd love to go get a drink with. Probably like Jerry Ryan.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Jerry Ryan.
Yeah.
If he'd have still been alive now, yeah, I'd love to.
Jerry Ryan, yeah.
I only started working for 2FM kind of a couple of years after he died.
So you never got to cross paths around like that,
I'm
no?
a massive fan of Jerry Ryan, yeah.
Yeah.
Jerry Ryan, Brendan Gleeson. Yeah, probably Brendan Gleeson.
Brendan Gleeson.
Love to go for a drink with Brendan.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
Just a pub, have a little Cali.
You've a mad obsession with Brendan Gleeson. I don't know what.
Love him.
You love him with all your heart, don't you?
I fucking love him.
Is he your cousin all your life?
I fucking love him. He's my second cousin removed.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm after asking you the question. I don't have the answers myself, bro. I don't know who I talk to.
You ain't got the answer, swag.
You ain't got the answers.
When you love to be in the room that day,
Oh,
innit?
stop, bro. Stop sitting there. What's your clothing line? We don't know. We don't know, Sway.
What's your clothing line? We don't know,
Sway is
Sway.
basically telling the fella, listen, shut up shouting at me or I'm going to box the head off you. You
Let's
know
go
what
outside and have a
I mean?
conversation.
Yeah, do you know what I mean?
Hello.
So funny, bro. Yeah. Imagine
Anywho.
being in that room.
Would have been some crack.
Oh, stop. Speaking of some crack,
Go on.
how do you feel about a cupola joke?
A cupola joke?
A cupola. I have a time travel joke in here as well, actually. A time travel joke, you say? What do you call
Star Trek? Oh my.
Oh my! What do you call a time traveling cow?
Go on.
Dr. Moo.
Love it.
Right, I have one more.
Love it.
Doctor, I can see into the future. He asks me, when did this start? I said, next Thursday.
That's good. That's good.
Right, let's get into the real ones, yeah. I went for a job interview recently.
You did, no.
I did. I filled my glass of water just until it overflowed a little bit.
Go on. Sorry, I don't know why I did that.
I filled my glass
I
of
was
water.
trying to look like I was like.
An interview?
Yeah, I was just like.
He just like perked his lips up. He's like, just looking at me. Anyway, right. I was at the interview and I filled my glass of water until it overflowed a little bit.
Go on.
Yeah? And the interviewer says, are you nervous? I says, no, I just give everything 110%.
If I ever go for a job interview, that's what I'm doing. I'm just a hard worker. I'm just a hard grafter. I'm an over grafter.
I have 2 more, right?
Go on.
One I whipped off the web, and the last one
You whip all them off the web. What are you talking about?
I actually wrote. This last one I actually wrote myself, so bear with me, right?
Jesus.
So
It's going to be about a half hour long. I have a big fucking meaning at the end of it. Change all our lives. Shawshank joke.
Do you not get it? Shawshank jokes!
With the fucking Shawshank jokes.
With the Da Vinci comedy.
You have to decipher this fucking joke. You have to go off. You have to buy an encyclopedia.
He has the Socrates giggles. Yeah, the Socrates.
You have to buy a certain collection of books from Amazon.
Before you get the joke.
You have to study for this thing. You have to study this thing.
4 years in the college.
To go to college. Oh, fuck's sake. Go on. Go on.
Right, so did you hear about your man? I didn't write this now. This is the one I didn't write. Did you hear about the fella that tipped his balls in Clare?
Go on.
Pretty nuts, right?
The American accent.
Pretty nuts, right?
right?
I couldn't do it the Irish accent.
Fake news.
Fake
news.
Right.
It's pretty nuts, right?
I'm sorry about this in advance. I hope this goes down well, right? So,
strap yourself in, kids.
I wrote this. I wrote this on the busway here, right? So it goes like this. I was in school, yeah, and this was around the time I was mad into graffiti, yeah.
Okay.
So you're obviously not allowed to draw on the desks in school, right?
Obviously not.
Obviously not. But I wrote "ladies well" 3 times, right, in graffiti writing. And when I finished the 3rd "ladies well," the teacher leaned over me and goes, "Well, well, well, what do we have here?"
That's awful. Oh my god.
That's so good. What are you talking about?
The setup was terrible.
Bro, that was a great setup. What are you on about?
Well.
Ladies went 3 times. Brother, come on. You're not giving me enough slack. I know somebody pissed themselves laughing at that. That was great. Give it over. Give it over for that. Yeah. Punchline King. You're talking to the Punchline King here. Yeah.
Well. That's the end of the pod.
That was a great one, bro. Come off it, will you? Come off it. Oh, enjoy that, kids. Thanks for listening. Rocky's just shaking his head here.
Oh my god. I wish I could go back in time and never have done this fucking podcast. Just go back to the start. Well.
And there's notice at the start they went, I hope this goes down well. Never mind. We'll just close.
See what I mean? This fella. With the callbacks.
With the callbacks. Yeah. Well. That's it. See you next week.
Good luck. Mind yourselves and be well. That was a little well. Be well.
Be well.